Look at your desk right now. Not later, not when you finish this sentence and get distracted by something else on it. Right now. Count how many of the 7 things I am about to name are currently sitting somewhere in your field of vision while you try to work. Japanese office and study culture has maintained a remarkably consistent standard for what belongs on a working surface for generations. Not because of minimalism as an aesthetic preference, but because of a practical understanding, now confirmed by attention research, of exactly how much visual information a desk can hold before it starts working against the person sitting at it. Item 4 is on almost every Western desk right now and has been shown to measurably reduce cognitive capacity simply by being visible, whether it is being used in that moment or not. Item 6 is the one nobody thinks of as clutter because it looks exactly like organization. Here is the research that makes this more than a tidiness argument. A study from Princeton University's Neuroscience Institute found that visual clutter in the field of view competes directly for neural representation in the visual cortex, meaning that every object visible at the edge of your attention, whether you are consciously looking at it or not, is drawing a measurable amount of processing power away from whatever you are actually trying to focus on. This is not willpower. It is not discipline. It is a hard limit on how the visual system allocates attention, and a cluttered desk hits that limit constantly throughout every working hour. Japan's answer to this predates the research by decades. 2 of the 5 pillars of the Japanese 5S workplace methodology, seri, sorting out what is unnecessary, and seitan, giving everything that remains exactly one fixed place, have shaped Japanese offices and desks since the mid-20th century, originally developed in manufacturing and now applied as standard practice in ordinary workspaces. The result is not a stripped, sterile desk. It is a desk that has been deliberately edited down to only what the current task requires. The first thing is the phone, placed face up within reach. Not the phone being used, the phone simply being visible. A study from the University of Texas at Austin found that the mere presence of a smartphone within eyesight, even switched off and face down, measurably reduced available cognitive capacity in test subjects compared to when the phone was in another room entirely. Face up and within reach is worse still. Every notification light, every glance possibility pulls a small continuous slice of attention away from the task in front of you. The Japanese desk standard is simple. The phone belongs in a bag, a drawer, or another room while working, not silenced on the desk, genuinely out of the field of vision. The second thing is unrelated paperwork. Anything belonging to a different task than the one currently being worked on. The Western desk frequently holds several projects worth of paper simultaneously. Today's task, last week's unfinished task, a form that needs attention eventually, mail that has not been dealt with. Each piece is a visible reminder of unfinished work, competing for attention exactly the way the Princeton research describes. Seri, sorting out the unnecessary, applied here means only the material for the current task exists on the surface. Everything else has one fixed home elsewhere, retrievable when its time comes, invisible until then. The third thing is more than one drink or snack container. A coffee cup from this morning beside a water bottle, beside a snack wrapper, is a small collection of domestic clutter that has migrated onto the working surface. Individually harmless, collectively, each one is another object the visual system has to process and discount over and over every time the eyes move across the desk. The Japanese desk standard allows exactly one drink vessel at a time, refreshed and returned rather than accumulated. Item 4. The one on almost every desk right now. Decorative objects and personal photos placed directly in the primary line of sight. This sounds counterintuitive. Surely a photo of family or a plant is a positive presence rather than clutter. But the Princeton research does not distinguish between clutter that feels pleasant and clutter that feels unpleasant. Anything within the direct visual field competes for the same limited attentional resource regardless of its emotional value. A photo directly in the sight line between the eyes and the screen is processed by the visual cortex every single time the eyes pass over it, even when not consciously noticed. The Japanese desk standard is not that personal objects are forbidden, it is that they are placed to the side or behind, outside the primary working sight line rather than directly within it. The fifth thing is more than one open notebook or device screen. A laptop, a phone, a tablet, and a physical notebook all open simultaneously is a common Western desk configuration, marketed as multitasking efficiency. It is closer to the opposite. Each additional open surface is another source of potential visual and cognitive competition, and switching attention between them carries what researchers call switch cost, a measurable delay and accuracy penalty every single time attention moves from one surface to another. The Japanese desk standard keeps one primary working surface active at a time. Everything else stays closed until it is genuinely needed. Item 6. The one nobody thinks of as clutter because it looks like organization. Excessive desk organizers. Multiple trays, holders, and containers holding items rarely used. This is the one that catches people off guard because organizational products are marketed specifically as the solution to desk clutter. But a desk with 6 different holders, trays, and containers, even perfectly tidy ones, is still a desk with 6 additional distinct objects for the visual system to process. Seitan, the second pillar, is not about containing more things attractively. It is about having fewer things that need containing in the first place. A single pen, out. Everything else, away until it is the task at hand. The seventh thing is any object with an unresolved task attached to it. A book half read with a bookmark visible. An appliance that needs fixing. A form that needs signing sitting in plain view rather than filed away until its deadline approaches. Each of these functions the way the Western unsorted paperwork did in Item 2, a visible, standing reminder of something unfinished, quietly demanding a small slice of attention every time it enters the field of view, whether or not it is being consciously thought about. 7 things. None of them require new furniture, new software, or a new productivity system. Phone out of sight, genuinely. Only the current task's paperwork visible. 1 drink vessel at a time. Personal objects outside the primary sight line. 1 open working surface. Fewer, not more, organizational containers. And every unresolved task moved out of view until its moment arrives. Before you finish this video, clear 1 thing off your desk. Not later, now, while the 7 items are still in your head. The research says the effect is immediate. The moment an item leaves the field of view, the attentional cost it was creating leaves with it. How many of the 7 did you count on your own desk? Tell me honestly in the comments. And if someone in your life works from a desk that looks like a small archive of everything they have ever touched, send this to them today. It was never about their discipline. It was always about what was sitting in front of them. I will see you in the next one.